So why wait till you turn 100 years old to throw a big party? 99 is a lot of years, and 99 years ago, the San Diego and Arizona Railway was completed, and they drove the spike. Bruce, I'm going to say your name, Semmelsberger.
Very good.
I got it.
Excellent.
He's a volunteer there at the museum. Tell me a little bit about the celebration. Welcome. Nice to have you all here. We have a great group here of train enthusiasts. Tell us a little bit about this celebration.
Thank you. Well, 99 years later, we're going to reenact that golden spike that was driven, that connected San Diego with the rest of the world directly.
All right, there's a lot of people out there, Bruce, who don't even know what a train is because they've never been on one. I love trains. I go to LA on the train all the time. But this was the only mode of massive transportation back in the day, right?
Exactly right.
So what was a spike? What was that all about?
The spike, as you see the golden spike right here, that is what anchors the rail down to the wooden cross ties. That's what makes the whole thing work. Rounded rails and very low friction.
These were done one at a time, right? All the way across.
Yes, sir. Everyone had to be driven by hand.
How long did it take to build that railway?
12 years.
And at the time, it was something that needed to be completed, and John Spreckles came in to help out, right?
Correct. Actually, the Southern Pacific Railroad was doing the financing behind the scenes, and John Spreckles was fronting, but at one point, Southern Pacific pulled out, and John Spreckles was left holding the bag for about $7 million of his own money.
Well, think about $7 million back then. It was like $1 billion now. It's a big bunch of money. Diana Hyatt is also a volunteer at the museum. Tell me a little bit about the museum and what's there and how you're going to celebrate.
The museum's out in Campo, which is about 50 miles east of here, just past the Sunrise Highway exit. Some of our celebrations will include talks by different authors who've authored books on the railroad. We will have various displays available throughout town, particularly at the Model Railroad Museum in Balboa Park. We're offering lectures to whoever wants to get on our website and book a lecture, and we will come talk about the 100 years and what it took to build this railroad.
Diana, who broke the plate?
Typically plates, when they were cracked, they'd be thrown out of the train.
Oh, really?
And so the plates, we actually had to find shards to reproduce the dinner plate. We don't have an actual dinner plate original to the railroad, but they did offer dining car service on the railroad for several
Fancy
years.
dining car service. This was like with nice silverware and glass and beautiful plates like this and waiters, right, and everything.
Right. Very fancy.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Yeah, so these we do have some original plates in our collection. We didn't bring them today, but these are examples of what you'd find along the right-of-way after good heavy rain.
How about that? Randy's also a volunteer there. Nice to have you here, Randy.
Hi, thank you very much. I'm an engineer. I run diesel engines on our excursion trains every weekend at Campo.
What's it like to still run a train? It's got to be really cool.
Oh, it's awesome. The responsibility of pulling a train with up to 300 people, especially on our North Pole trains that we're going to be starting up in a couple of weeks, is a great thrill and something I've always wanted to do.
You know,
I've been doing it for 22 years.
That is fantastic. Back in the day, the train sounded like what? What's it like to be part of this? Give me your name.
My name is Rena Deutsch.
Tell me a little bit about this.
And I'm so excited. I'm chairing the museum's committee on the Centennial, making plans, and we're partnering with some of the organizations around town, like the Spreckles Organ Society, and the San Diego Model Railroad Museum is going to open up an exhibit this summer. And we hope everybody will come out to Campo, and actually not just November 16th, but on September 7th, we're having a groundbreaking festival as well for SD&A next year.
Fantastic. All right, I'm going to go over here to the people, the enforcers, I call them. The guys who take the tickets and make sure that everything is in good working order on the train. This is Bruce Deck. You're also a volunteer. Tell me a little bit about what being part of all of this is like for you.
Well, there are lots of different things that I can do. I'm not officially on crew, but I can handle ticketing. I can be a docent. I also, for our upcoming North Pole trains, make 450 gallons of hot chocolate over 4 weekends.
That's great. What was it like to ride a train? Do you remember when you were a kid and riding a train? What was that like for you?
Well, it was a major experience. I rode the train when I was in college, and all of this is very historic, and people don't realize that back in the 20s and the 30s, 1 out of every 6 people employed in the United States either worked on a railroad or worked in a railroad-related industry. It was bigger than the auto industry or the airline industry or anything. It was the foundation of the country.
That is fantastic. And Jared's also here. I know you're a youngster compared to all of us old folks who remember riding a train as kids. What's it like for you?
Oh, it's great. I've loved trains since I was a kid, and this is a great opportunity to actually work on a real railroad without having to be a career, which I'm a SDSU undergrad student for television production, actually, and this is my hobby. So
how are we doing so far here?
Awesome. I love it.
Well, Jared, we appreciate you. And your name, Matt?
I'm Alana.
And tell me what you do down there.
I'm the gift shop manager at the museum.
Oh, I bet you sell all kinds of trinkets and great stuff.
We have all kinds of things. We sell postcards, weird little stuffed trains, you know, everything.
We want to go through what's here because there's a lot of really interesting things. The headlines here: Southern Pacific joins with Spreckles to complete. This is what you were talking about, Bruce. And then you've got these pictures of these locomotives. Randy, what are these locomotives right here that we're looking at?
Okay, these are oil-burning steam locomotives that were used in the opening years of the San Diego and Arizona until the 1940s and 1950s when diesels took over.
And then you've got this historical landmark plaque here, the civil engineering landmark, the Carrizo George Trestle that was part of the railway. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. The event is once again when?
Coming up in November of 1919.
Just around the corner,
Check
folks.
our website, Pacific
All right.
Southwest Railway Museum, for more information.
What was that website again?
Pacific Southwest Railway Museum,
All right.
psrm.org.
And we will link to that on KUSI. Thank you all very much, and happy birthday.
Thank you,
Nice to
brother.
have you all here. We'll be right back with more Good Morning San Diego in just a moment.